All I want to say is if you call yourself an audiophile and you've not listened to Rialtos or purchased the set, I do not think you can call yourself an audiophile until you have experienced these. Stay tuned, let's dig into them, let's put them through their paces.
0, 1. Let's get started.
Evening, and let's dig into the review and the testing of the Cabasse Rialtos. All I can say to start this off is I have never ever in my life experienced an experience like this, and I want to call it a experience because that is exactly what it is. You are not walking in somewhere just listening to a song. This is more like going to Disneyland, standing in line, getting on the ride, doing the ride, getting off and wanting to go back into that line straight away. That is what this is. It is an experience. As you guys can see, I am excited, and rightfully so. I'm going to try and put my emotions into words so you guys can better understand what these are all about. Because if you see them now, they are two small black boxes. But for those of you that did watch my unboxing and overview video, you would know there's much more to these than that. Link in description. If you did not watch that, go back and watch it. I want to test these against power, so you can see what I dragged out. Bauer & Wilkins 703 S3s. These speakers retail for 114,000 Rand. That is where I was aiming at when I said these aim for 100,000 Rand. Technically 99,000 and something, so just underneath 100,000 Rand. So if you look at them on paper, they go about equally as low to around 30 Hertz. They go equally as high, but look at the size difference we have here. These speakers cannot be more different in how they do things, and I'm going to play the demos as I always do so you can understand where I'm coming from with this. But that put aside, I was sitting for the last hour going one song on these, one song on those, one song on these, one song on those. And the only thing I could take away from this experience, if that means anything to you guys and girls out there, is I enjoyed every single track, no matter what speaker I listened to. I could take out pieces of what every speaker does good, what they do poorly. And we will touch on those. Not that this is a Bauer & Wilkins review, but we will touch how these things sort of compare. And also now keeping in mind that the Bauers, you need amplification. So you need to add power to them. These come powered with 1,050 watts per speaker. There's no way I can put that power into the Bauers. So we are running my trusty Marantz power amplifier, 200 watts. That is about as much as I can give them. And we are running it through the Marantz Cinema 50. That in itself is another almost 60,000-70,000 Rand investment. So now that puts you close to 200,000 Rand, where this is still just 100,000 Rand. Now I can hear you guys saying there's no way that the bass on this is going to get anywhere close to a floor standing premium Bauer & Wilkins speaker. Guys, this is why I laugh at you, because these give more bass than the floor standing Bauer & Wilkins speaker. And it doesn't give a little bit more bass, it gives a hell of a lot more bass. I cannot understand it. One bass driver at the back, two bass drivers. But what this comes down to is something we've known for years, and we've slowly been trying to get away from it to save money. Is power is key. They have overpowered this speaker to the hilt. 300 watt, 300 watt, 450 watt. And then we're trying to do all of those speakers with 200 watts. And with time we've been trying to tell ourselves it runs on that power, it's fine. Guys, we need to get back to pumping serious power into our speakers again. The problem is the cost. It's becoming unobtainable for most. I can't even to put 1,000 watts into a speaker. Because even though I take the Marantz and I use more channels and I bi-amp that, we are still driving off the same power supply. You need to start tri-amping, and this is what they do here, is they have different amplifiers for different speakers. It just becomes so expensive. So what Cabasse have done, and they've done it so well, is they've taken all of that guesswork out. Now we have two camps here. We have the camp that says, I want to be able to play around, and we have the camp that says, I'm fine, just by the way they want it to sound. But you are not stuck to the way they want it to sound. You have so many different sound profiles that I will put on screen, where you can go from high tone, medium tone, low tone, ultra low tone, to change that sound profile, and it does it so well. High tone gives you a lot of airiness in line with the Bowen Wilkins. Then if you go lower, it brings down that low, down the height, and it sort of fills the low more. Then if you go for the ultra low, it brings the low down a lot. That's more for outdoor, but some people might like it, and it brings the bass up a lot. For me, low tone was the way this was perfect. All of that detail was still there, but it made it warm and delicious, like a valve amplifier. I had that valvey feel, but we have no valves here. We have, again, I can't stress this enough. You sit and you listen to these, and you close your eyes and you get the illusion that you're listening to a huge sound system. You open your eyes and this is what you see. It boggles the mind. And I think that is part of the illusion trick that it does, because when you see a speaker and they are huge, you expect a huge sound. La Scala comes to mind. Now La Scala has a huge sound, but La Scala has no bass. 50 hertz. These small speakers will kill the bass on a 15-inch La Scala. How is that possible? I do not know. Like I said, they sort of try and design technology, because I mean the owners of Cabasse is a technology company. So all of the technology that goes in here, trying to defeat physics, how can we work around things, is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm going to put a picture of their La Sphere. That's their biggest set of speakers. Like 3 million rand or 300,000 pounds, something like that. Insane. But it is a circle like that. It's not even as big. Well, I think the height might be as big, but it's not as bulky as we have on the SVS. But in that, again, we have a line source and we have a 21-inch subwoofer. Or not a subwoofer, a woofer. But it's going to do sub-frequencies. And they hide all of that in a nice, neat package. But that, again, that's tri-amplified. That thing's a beast. I'll post in pictures. But that same technology was trickled down into this small box. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I'm going to try and stress that this test on these speakers, please use good headsets. If you don't have them, fine, listen with your speakers, but the headset is going to try and point out what I sort of want you guys to hear. In my testing, I went through different songs. On my phone, I'm going to just list them and then tell you what to listen for. Madonna's Vogue. If you guys have not listened to that in a long time, listen to that. The recording that they did of that was so amazing with how it throws the all little sound effects and it's all over the place. It is a stereo masterpiece. So in that, listen for the separation, listen to where the sound is thrown across the room. Bowers did an amazing job at this. It was airy, it was high, it was quick. Everything was great. On the Cabasse, same sort of thing, just a bit more toned back. But again, I think that is the low setting I had. I could make it sound like the Bowers. Again, bringing in the flexibility where you have a lot to play with on this. So, and also the room correction. Don't forget about the room correction. These speakers correct themselves. Where on the Bowers, you need to implement some sort of room correction. Very minimal stereo amps have room correction. So you're going to have to go through a receiver, run D-Rack, all of that. Where this, that's it by itself. It is a smart as hell speaker. So again, going back to that Vogue, both of these gave the same. I must say the Bowers gave a bit of a bigger soundstage on that song. Where this, the low end had much more authority. And then also, I'm becoming a big fan of the line source speaker with that footprint just coming straight to you, where again here you have multiple drivers that need to reach your ear at the same time. So that's the line source speakers, same as the Sendo, starting to really win me over, and I'm falling so in love with it. Okay, next we have Iron Maiden, Writing on the Wall. Both of these just absolutely made that song shine. I listened to the whole thing, but the Cabasse took it for me on that song. Next after that we have Bill Callahan, guys. If you're not, I'm sure most of you are familiar with him. Nights in Santiago. Nights in Santiago. Don't laugh at me for the beginning of the song. You guys are gonna laugh, but that song is just so absolutely amazing. How the claps come in, you hear the claps, and then you hear go and listen to it. I could not decide between the two of these which wins for me, but again, the lowdown of the Cabasse just gave me more feel, and he's got a very deep rumbly voice, where on this I had all the detail and clarity. I did not feel that chestiness, where on the Cabasse I could feel the chestiness. So again, Cabasse on that song for me. Then one more, this one, Eagles, Hotel California. So I've always heard that double drum, that dum 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 dum. Go and listen to it. Dum dum. That double drum is a completely different drum, and the second drum has a bit of a airiness to it that goes on longer. On the Bowers, I could hear it, but on most of the speakers I've heard it, but it's there. You get the dum dum, but it's not so pronounced. You need to really listen to it, or like I'm explaining it now, I need to explain it to you and then you need to hear it. Otherwise it sort of just goes dum dum, double drum, that's it, same drum. It's not the same drum. On the Cabasse, I've never heard a speaker put that double drum as in front of you. Like, how did I miss this? As the Cabasse, it was dum 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 dum. I could hear that thing dig down deep. They dig down damn deep. Guys, look at the goosebumps. I need to cool myself down. I'm getting way too excited here. But that song on these speakers, I've never ever heard anything like that before. One last comparison, then we can start getting into the tests. Holy Drops by Finn. One of those songs you need to test for stereo all over the place, sensor imaging, and when the drops come, those drops, you need to experience it. So go and listen to that song on your system. I think every video now I'm going to give you guys a few different songs that I always test with. Go and listen to them on your systems and let me know what they sound like. Yeah, and also post songs you guys like. I would like to listen to them. I love listening to new music, expanding my horizons. Some old stuff we've never heard, some new stuff that we think is crap, but it's not. There's some good new music out as well. So post your recommendations and playlists. I would love to see them. I'll post my playlist so you guys can see that as well. I got so excited and carried away with how the speakers sound and how phenomenal they are. I forgot to get into the whole app and how good the app works. The Cabasse app is absolutely brilliant. Had no flaws with it. Even if I can put it in the same realm as the Wim app, it really just is that good. So I had no flaws with that. From putting on these speakers, putting the power cables in, sort of they start up. This one you can see on the screen, it does this thing, but it gives you audio as well. You hear the audio coming on and then sort of connected to network. And then this one, because it has its own amp, does the same thing. You hear all of the sounds connected to network. You just don't have the screen to see all of that stuff happening. But the app guides you every step of the way, from what you need to do to connect, what are you running, how are they set up left and right. Then it does the audio calibration where it does the sweeps and it sets them up. From there you can go and do the different tone controls. Then there's the dynamic optimization button that you can go and click on. What that does is, most of us, when we're listening to whatever speakers we have and we're listening at high volume, you got the bass, you got the punch, but now you turn the volume down to where maybe you have people in the room and you are talking. So you'll hear the music in the background, but that bass will not be there. And bass is what excites us. So if we hear soft music with the bass, boom, boom, it's like, that's exciting. And you start listening, what song is this? And that's what catches you. Is the bass is always the first thing that catches you. Then you start listening to the mid bass, treble, and depending on how deep you listen to this stuff. So that mode, when you put it on, it brings the bass back when you're listening low. You can go and drag how aggressive you want that setting as well. Mine's maxed. Mine's maxed. I love my bass, and these give it in spades. So mine's maxed. You can go and drag it to your own liking, but when I sit there, or I sit in my office and I have this running at low volume, I love to hear the song and the bass flowing as if a big sub is on, but it's not. Again, we have this small little speaker, but it sounds like huge speakers with a subwoofer and authority, and I'm running away with myself again. I just get overly excited. Okay, what did we not touch on? We touched on they sound amazing, how the different songs sound, how the app works, and how smart they are with the microphones. I think we covered everything. I think all that's left to do is to do a little demo between the Bauer setup on the Morne's combo and then the Rialtos with their own combo. Let's do that. Funny enough, the headroom on these calibrated to decibels was the same. So 60 on these was 60 on those. 70 on those was 70 on these. And we'll do the same. I'm going to do a soft listening test, then a loud listening test. I promise you that these can go louder than the Bauer & Wilkins. These speakers with their power can go so loud, I didn't dare push them past 80%. My ears would not hold it. Like I said, these things go up to 120 decibels. That's insane loud. You're never going to get there. I found 60 and 70 to be where I would not go further, which for me was more than enough. But you get some nutters out there that like to listen very loud. You can. Not like other power speakers where you can't. This is what I want to drag off. This is what I want to go on. So I don't just want to give you guys all the good stuff. I want to give you guys cons as well. And they do come with cons. I think 3 cons that I think is something worth mentioning. Number 1 con. This optic cable that links them, that comes in the box, it's too short. As you can see, I don't have much slack left. and this is the width I have. I would like to have them out wider to where the SVS speakers are. Luckily, it's an easy fix. It's a normal fiber optic patch cord. You can get from anywhere to 5 meters, 10 meters, whatever you want. So that is an easy thing, and it's going to be like $100 or what, $10, $5. Yeah, it's cheap. So just get one of those, and your problem is sorted. Second con, because these have amplifiers built into both speakers, when you are pausing your song, next song, stop song, you will hear them click off and not at the same time. It will be a bit of a delay. Come back on, bit of a delay. The music and everything syncs perfectly, but as you are listening to this, every time you go next track or pause, you hear the, and you can hear them doing their thing. So not a biggie. Everything sounds the same, just something worth mentioning. And like I say, I'm going to be nitpicky on all these reviews. If there is something that bugs me, I will mention it. The third con is, I suppose, the biggest con of these. I call them cons, but just downsides to it. So because we have that bass optimization mode, and these do the room EQ and it has DSP that's built into the speaker that does its own thing to keep the volumes in check. So these speakers are glorious when listening to low volume, as I explained with the bass. So let's say 40, 50, 40 there. Now you go up to 50, 60, and you go up quite a lot. That becomes loud. Still glorious, but the bass has now become a little bit less. Still a lot of authority, a lot of bass, but a little bit less because the DSP at the low volume was ramped. And as we are going up now, if I can do a little graph, low volume, bass, and then as we go up, it sort of starts to level out to where it's going to be completely level, and there's no more DSP going on in that bass. So if you go up 70, 80, the bass from 60 to 70, 80 did not really go up, but the volume has gone up. Although the bass would have gone up slightly with it, it is sort of starting to level out now to where you get to the high end where the bass levels out. That is a problem with any powered speaker I've ever come across, and especially a small one where they are trying to fool you into having big sound. So that will be the biggest con for me. Still no biggie because it does it so well you hardly notice. Let's quickly do the demo and then we'll close this off, and I'll tell you which I would take if I had to take one set. Okay, here we go. First test. Our volume, let me just make sure it is at, should be at, yes, volume is at 60, and we are going Bowers and Wilkins first. Next is the Cabasse Rialto, and we are at 60% volume again. Let's do the Bowers and Wilkins again. Now we ramp the volume up to 70%. Okay, Cabasse Rialto, and we are going to bump the volume up to 70%. Come on, please comment. I want to know, could you hear the difference? I don't think I've ever had such a big difference between two different speakers. Or maybe when I had the Polk R700 and the Klipsch RP8000. That was as big a contrast. And that's what I'm trying to say, is not that you can't enjoy both of these. Both of these are high-end speakers. They are thoroughly enjoyable in any sense that you listen to them. Just they do certain things vastly different, and the package that they come in is vastly different. So that in itself is something you need to take into account. I've had 3 people now. I had my wife, I had Michael, and I had my son come and listen, and I played the different songs for them, and I asked them, and it was blind testing. Obviously, if they listen nice, well, my speakers are set up in a way where you can't really pinpoint which speakers they are. So I didn't tell them what they listened to, and all of them chose the first one. Played the whole beginning of it, the intro, and then the bass, and everyone chose the Cabasse over the Bowen Wilkins. And that's without me telling. When I asked them, what do you think you listen to? Everyone said for the first one, it's the Bowen Wilkins, because the sound is bigger. And you expect when you see for the bigger sound to come out of the big speakers. It's exactly the same here. It's almost the same when Bose introduced their Acoustimax back in the day, where they hit the system and you heard a big system and there were small speakers. Same thing. It boggles your mind. You think these are the smaller sound and that's the bigger sound. Guys, so listen, I am going to be adding Cabasse speakers to my range in my demo rooms, just not now. I'm thinning out speakers. We are moving in December, so I don't want extra stuff to move around, but Cabasse is too good not to have on my fleet of speakers. And I have to say, if I had to take one set of speakers and never have another set of speakers out of all of my speakers, it's going to be these. And yes, I will take them above the Cornwalls and the La Scalas as well, just because those are so difficult to match with amplification and become so expensive, that these, for me, if I had to sell everything, is the one set I'm going to keep. I don't need a sub, I don't need more, I don't need more smarts, I don't need more amps, I don't need more anything. These are super high end at an affordable price. And I know it sounds stupid to call $100,000 or $4,000 affordable, but for what you are getting, it really is. It really is. And now for the guys saying that, yeah, I'm saying they're good because I'm adding them to my store. No, guys, I don't care if you don't buy anything from me. I don't care. Just go out to your local Cabasse dealer in wherever you are. I'm not making a cent out of that. And go and listen. To listen costs nothing. Keep in mind that these stores are going to be more high-end stores because these aren't going to be at your local sound shop around the corner. These are quite elite. But make a plan. Go and listen. These aren't going to be by me now. I've only got them in from Homation on review. So if you want to listen to them now, sorry guys, unless you're coming in the next week. These will be gone soon. But I promise you, in next year, as soon as we have the new demo rooms and stores up and running, I will have a full Cabasse lineup, just not the Les Spheres, because I can't afford the Les Spheres. So closing off this video, I can't stress enough how badly you need to listen to these. If you are audiophile, hell yes, you need to listen to them. If you just appreciate good music, you need to listen to them. They really made the speaker for everyone, which you can't say about 90% of speakers out there, that they are made for audiophiles. They are made for people just to listen to that appreciate good music. They are made to be aesthetically pleasing on a coffee table or a bookshelf or just below your TV. You can get these in white and black and they look lovely. Even out of interior design, all of their sphere shapes and stuff, it fits into any home decor. So interior design friendly and wife acceptance factor very friendly. Yes. Guys, I hope I covered all of the bases on this. Please download if you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, share. Helps me out a lot. I appreciate the support, guys, and I could not do this without you. So thank you. Stay safe. Until the next video. Cheers. Bye.
0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.